90% of all athletes in U.S. professional sports, they are fully vaccinated. But, ladies, there are two particular outliers in professional sports that have been a huge story over the last month. And we're talking about the Green Bay Packers' Aaron Rodgers and the Brooklyn Nets' Kyrie Irving.
Yeah, I'm going to take a step backwards for a second before I get to Aaron Rodgers. Back in 2000, when I went to Olympic training camp, we had nominations for a team captain. And I thought, oh, I'm 33 years old, I'm going to get nominated. I didn't get nominated. And I'll never forget a team manager coming up to me and saying, you know what, Dara, it's not about the label, it's about your actions. And I really feel like Aaron Rodgers is not stepping up as a team leader. I mean, look, he's being selfish. He's, there's 22 players on the field. It's a contact sport. He's not wearing a mask on the sideline. He's not wearing a mask while being interviewed, and he's just putting a lot of people's lives at risk. And not only is he being selfish, he's being deceiving. And for him to say that he got vaccinated by using the word immunized, oh, by the way, Aaron Rodgers, those are two of the same words. So he was very deceiving in his actions and making people think that he got vaccinated. Then you have Kyrie Irving with the NBA, who at the beginning of the season said, I am not getting vaccinated, and he sat out the season. So you can see a difference in character between Irving and Rodgers very clearly.
Yeah, Kyrie was right up front.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but I do think with the Kyrie Irving situation, I know that you're closer with Kyrie, we'll get to, there is still time for him to change his mind and change what he decides to do. A lot of it was put into focus because of the New York City mandate about an individual can't play or practice in a public venue if you are not vaccinated. So at the start of the season, there were other individuals across the NBA that were not yet vaccinated, but because of this mandate, that's where Kyrie and the team had to come to a agreement that he would either be full-time if he were to be eligible, because they were not willing to take a part-time player. And I think a lot of that for the organization, they said, we respect the individual decision of Kyrie. However, we need to make a decision for the organization to have a clarity and a focus on who's able to play. So Kyrie Irving is foregoing a good amount of money in making this decision, saying that he wants the freedom to make what he feels like is best for him. But for each game, each home game that he misses loses $380,000. And so when you look at 41 home games plus a 2 that would be played at Madison Square Garden, will lose over $16 million. Now he's still being paid by the team for those games that he would be eligible on the road. However, overall, I think just the concept of team, the concept of showing up for your teammates, more than anything, NBA fans, he is one of the most talented players, and the love that he has for the game. So just the game missing someone who is an all-time great finisher, all-time great handles, and for a team with championship aspirations, I think there's just a lot of moving parts with this circumstance to think about the fact that you're missing someone who could be such a part of the goal set forward when he decided to come to Brooklyn, and bringing essentially Kevin Durant and James Harden along the way.
It doesn't look like that mandate is changing anytime soon, even though there's a new mayor in place for January.
Yeah, I think it's a tough situation for everyone. One, shame on Aaron Rodgers. I just think that his decision not to be honest up front, you have fans, you have kids that people look up to as role models and as athletes, to have the voice that we have, and then to be deceiving and intentional. It's a lie. Let's not even call it deceiving, because deceiving is sort of like, I was kind of telling you.
I was trying to be nice. I already bashed him.
He flat out lied. What I do love about Kyrie, and again, a dear friend to me, so I'm not going to sit here and try and bash him, but I do know that Kyrie is a guy who really genuinely loves people, and he gives back a ton. And let me just say, for him and his character, he is a guy who has given so much, whether it's been buying George Floyd's parents, his mom, a new house, paid tuition for 9 HBCU students, giving back $250,000, just like he has given up his money and his time. So I know that his heart is in a good place, but I would say to my friend and to the African-American community in general, this is not a stance for like social justice right now. This is not about equality. This vaccine is a lifesaver. And just to give you a little quick story from my situation with the COVID-19 personally, my husband got COVID-19 right before he was able to get a vaccine. I got the shot. He didn't. Got COVID-19 and did not understand. Actually, it was his co-pilot who got it first. So he was grounded. My husband's a pilot. He was grounded. Come to find out later, 10 days later, my husband was still fine. Nothing happening. All of a sudden, COVID is wreaking havoc. He ended up getting COVID-induced pneumonia, hospitalized. Like, I saw COVID up close and personal. You do not want that. My sister, vaccinated, got COVID-19. She spent 10 days in the room on TikTok, hanging out. She's okay. We checked on her. Just a huge difference. So I would just say this is not the moment to sort of take that stand for everybody to say, hey, don't get vaccinated because you have the freedom of choice. This is not about choice. This is about saving lives. This is about being respectful for the other people around you and about our country.
You know, someone who's always been outspoken about social justice is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who has also been particularly outspoken regarding vaccine hesitancy among athletes. And he published a blog post yesterday calling out the damage done by Aaron Rodgers' dishonesty over his vaccine status. And this is just what you were speaking to, Lisa. And these are some quotes from the blog. Unfortunately, the pandemic has revealed several athletes who abuse their position and responsibilities, not just to the public, but to other professional athletes' livelihood. And that's where the deception comes in because, I think about my colleagues in the media. Aaron Rodgers wasn't wearing a mask in the media availabilities, and in the NFL, that's one of the protocols for unvaccinated players. I see it all the time at the Jets and Giants. They have their mask on when they come to speak with us. That means they're unvaccinated, but they're following the rules. Aaron Rodgers wasn't, and the team, too, should be held responsible. How did they let that slip through?
Absolutely. And Tina, this is where I say football is a microcosm of America, right? Because some people get to play with different rules sometimes. And this is just an example of that, where Aaron Rodgers, all those people that he's really been dishonest with, like you said, the media and all that, what's going to be is he going to get a slap on the wrist? He'll be back out there playing. This is a billion-dollar industry. Sure. We know that. And that's just not right.
Yeah, we haven't heard much about his health status, if he's suffering at all right now.
And and I also think just the concept that we know of being role models and what it does. Kareem spoke about that in his blog post, was the fact that you are role models for so many young individuals, whether it's teenagers and those who look up to you in your actions and how you go about things. So the concept of spreading misinformation or dishonesty, that's something that young people, all people, but in particular young kids see, and that's the last thing that you would want them to try to really look at when they're thinking about the people that they look up to most.
Yes, because he simply wasn't following the rules, and now kids will see that.